This is one thing that I will say about Jiri Prochazka Kamaru. He has to go through pain in order for him to wake the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, Yuri has to go through pain, and he just has to do that in order for you to wake up the dragon. You know what I'm saying? It's like a Justin Gaethje. Like, Justin Gaethje has to be in war in order for him to feel like he's in a fight, and that's the way that he performs. Jiri Prochazka has to get beat the fuck up to wake up from it, and then eventually kill you.
Jiri is very awkward, and he possesses this ability to move in a way that people don't see. I don't think I've ever seen the guy train in a traditional gym on Instagram. Obviously, I don't go to his page and stuff, but I always see clips of him doing something crazy, either backwards, doing something on the treadmill, in the woods, or out in the mountains. And I'm just like, does this guy ever go to the actual gym and train? But, you know, obviously jokingly, I would imagine that he does, hopefully.
Man, I love it, and I can't wait to see. I do believe, Henry, that will be the next matchup, Jiri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg, for potentially a vacant light heavyweight title. You know what? I really love it, because in the past, Ulberg's loss was because of the pressure. He couldn't handle the pressure and eventually wilted. Yuri puts a hellacious amount of pressure on you, and eventually we know fatigue turns cowards of us all within time.
Often fighters get asked, who's 3 UFC fighters that you would want with you in a street fight? I'm telling you, Jiri Prochazka is the top of that list. We had him on the show.
He would die for you in there.
Pre-Paul Felder era, we had Yuri on a few times, and he told us some crazy stories about having these mass brawls back in Czechoslovakia, you know, mass brawls and drinking petrol out of cars and all kinds of stuff. You know, he's a crazy guy. He would, if you were having a brawl, like skinheads versus non-skinheads in the middle of Czechoslovakia, right? You want Yuri on your team. You do not want him on the other side. Simple as that.
Obviously, Prochazka is a huge star and continues to become a brighter star with each and every performance. You know, even in his losses, it's like, man, if I'm the UFC, I am so excited to put Prochazka on a pay-per-view card, because he's going to deliver every single time out. He knows no other way to fight but to fight in an exciting offensive manner. So he's a promoter's dream. He's so unique. He's so authentic. He's so different than anything else. Anytime the camera's on Prochazka, I'm just staring at the dude, seeing what he's going to do. He's so intriguing, man, and so interesting. And I just want to continue to see him in the UFC for a very long time.
When Yuri gets going, there is a rush. There is an energy like, oh my God, he's entered a different mode. He did it against Rakic. Now he's done it against Khalil. There's a different thing to him. Even against Reyes, he did it as well, where he's just forward. And it's like, what do you got to do to switch this guy off? You have to be Poatan. And if you're not, you're dead. Good luck in a 3-rounder, maybe you'll survive it. 5 against any of these other guys in the division. I can't trust any of them to beat Yuri. You've got to switch him off in the first 2 rounds, or he will get you. He will get you.
Yeah, and here's the deal. Everyone's going to come down on me for saying this, but sometimes I think we need to make things right. And Yuri hasn't ever in the last 10 years, his only 2 losses are to Pereira. And he didn't get a fair shot at either one of them. One, he was coming off of like a year or 13-month layoff off of a shoulder injury. And the other one was like on 2 weeks' notice when he wasn't training. And he just came in to do the UFC a favor. Because even when he fought Glover, it wasn't necessarily favorable circumstances either. And he just was able to will his way into a title. But there's been a couple times where he hasn't gotten a fair shake at it.
I do think there's still holes there. There's still holes there to where he can be put away if a clean shot lands. But, man, you got to come through him with... It's basically walking in hell and you got gasoline draws on with Jiri Prochazka. So...
And I think one thing with Jiri Prochazka, if he can keep that same style of just overwhelming people, he will keep on getting better while also trying to tame this samurai way he likes to fight.
He's like Bruce Lee, he talks a lot about philosophy and things like that, and meditation and like, the side of martial arts that you don't really hear about in mixed martial arts. Yuri Prochazka certainly talks about those kind of elements.
One of the things that Bisping isolated and talked about was that Yuri only has bad intentions. There's heat on everything. Bisping is right. This guy's got bad intentions. He'll punch you he'll kick you in the leg and hope your face breaks. Like, he hurt everything. This guy just come out and hurt everything.
I thought Yuri was just like kind of retarded and just kind of like just went out there and fought dumb. But no, there's a little bit of method to his madness. Like, he moves his head and look, if I was somebody that like on the backside was looking at Dominic Cruz, I'm like, man, this guy's just dumb. Like, doing weird movements, acting stupid, and there's no rhythm and rhyme to it. But then you look at what Dominic Cruz has achieved in his career, and you're like, this guy
he's not
just dumb.
Yuri's a problem, man. His brain power, bro. His ability to just weather through pain is absolutely ridiculous.
It's amazing that in his chaos, as crazy and as button mashing as it is, when he decides to have a moment of clarity in there, and Yuri, I don't think he understands what it's like to be tired or to give up in these situations. And I think that is also what makes him so insanely dangerous, is even though we love it and it's crazy, and he is a crazy human, he's an athlete in there too. Even though he doesn't go about it in the traditional way, the fact that he's still fresh and sharp and aware enough, once he realized he had him hurt though, he can go in and get you out of there. And I'm telling you, I'm so mad at myself for ever doubting him over the years. I think from now on, no matter who Yuri picks or who Yuri fights, even if it's Pereira, I'm picking him.
And this is why people love this sport so much. This is why people adore this sport so much, for characters like Yuri who take us on this ride, because there is no one like him in sports, right? The spirit, the intensity, the way he speaks.
I underestimated Prochazka. I had lunch with King Mo, who fought him twice, and Mo talked my ear off telling me how special he was. And I walked out of that lunch, and I was at a hotel, and I ran into CB Dalloway in the lobby. CB had fought him and did the same thing. And King Mo and CB don't compliment anybody ever, and they both complimented this guy back to back. So Prochazka does something special.
Just Yuri, man. Yuri's just chaotic, dude. And the dude's fun to watch. I'm gonna be honest. Absolutely the most fun fight I've ever had was the fight with Yuri Prochazka. It's just something about when you being in there with him and he's just going, he's just giving, he's a fun fight. There's not many fights that I've ever enjoyed as much as I enjoyed the Yuri fight. Granted, I would have wanted another outcome, not to lose and things like that. But at the same time, dog, I had fun that night. That fun actually reminded me how much I truly love fighting. So, yeah, that's the fight I want again. I want that fight back.
He is a little bit crazy, I think so. But in good way, in good way. Yeah. He will put a lot of pressure on you. He throw a lot of punches. People don't understand this, how to block this, because they don't see this, And I think so, in this madness, he's really good,
Dude, this is where Yuri has really added to his game. I'm being serious for just a second. This kind of level where they're not just exchanging, but this boxing range where they're going back and forth, and then he can get into that flow state, you know what I mean, and dance like a '90s rapper. I'm being serious for. I'm honestly doing a bit. That's when there's trading. Now in those trading circumstances, he can land, make you miss, and then land again. And that's where he's actually, now granted, to get from where, on the outside range into that space, and then to bait the opponent into that takes a little time. He has to tire them down. They have to be less mobile, right? They have to be exchanging with him because that's their best option, not touch and exit, because they don't have the energy requisite to do that. And to do that, he's got to go to the body a little bit more. But dude, he has insane durability.
I need to believe more in my defense and in the close distance head movement because I really feel good in a close distance and to be untouchable. Yeah.
I mean, where did we get this dude from? Have we ever had a guy like this before? He just feels completely unique. A complete fan favorite. The amount of text messages I just got just saying, Yuri, yes. Nobody is doing that when Oberg wins a fight, unfortunately. I think he's great, but they just aren't doing that shit. It's different gravy with you, Yuri.
If not for Lex Pereira, Yuri Prochazka may have had this belt the whole time. Another guy, was the UFC champion like 3 fights. Yuri is special. While he may be different, and he moves to the beat of his own drum, and he may be odd in his striking, this dude is an absolute winner. And he proves it time and time again.
Wild. Yuri's my favorite fighter in the UFC. My favorite fighter of all time. He is the warrior of the era. Poatan's got power. Other guys have gifts. Yuri's just got this different brain and heart in him that is from another time. And it's cringe to say things like that, but at what point do you have to admit it's true? He's truly built for this shit and nothing else.
If I've got a magic wand and I could give my son the skills of one of those two, even now I give him Yuri's skills. The way that Yuri can fight like a martial artist, maybe a karate guy, and then he can switch right into a boxer, and he can go southpaw at range, and he can go inside as orthodox. He's an amazing fighter. He's an amazing competitor.